My name's Mackenzie, and I started a GoFundMe for the adoptive mother of a nonverbal autistic child. The mother had lost her job because she wasn't able to find adequate care for this autistic child. So she really needed some help with living expenses, paying some back bills. So I launched a GoFundMe to help support them during this crisis. And we raised about $10,000 within just a couple of months. I think that the surprising thing was by telling a clear story and just really being very clear about what we needed, we had some really generous donations from people who were really moved by the situation that this family was struggling with.
GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com. That's GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com. This podcast is supported by GoFundMe.
If you work in university maintenance, Granger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Granger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm 12 Kyle. Check this out. On this podcast, what we're going to talk about is jams, more specifically MTV Pop Jams. Now, let me explain this for a second, right? This will be a first. And the reason why I say that is because if you've been following this podcast, you know that I talk about music on this podcast a lot, right? However, I've never talked about any music outside of hip hop and R&B, because that's really where I'm at. I mean, that's what I listen to, and that's how I get down. That's my steez. That's the music that I vibe to. But you will be surprised, or maybe not. Some of you will be surprised to know that I didn't always listen to hip hop. I didn't always listen to R&B. I grew up in a musical household where my parents played music around the house. They played everything from Marvin Gaye to Stevie Wonder to, the Ohio Players to Earth, Wind and Fire to the Commodores. But there was a little period outside of the 70s into the early 80s where I really got into pop music. And to be honest, you didn't really have much of a choice because in 1981 in my household, we got something that, had not been seen before, and that was cable TV. And when we got cable TV, there was a little channel called Music Television, aka MTV. And I would spend hours upon hours, countless hours watching MTV. And I learned to grow and with that music and learn the music and love some of the songs that, was played. Not to mention, the music that, also got played around the house. But I was going to call this podcast the black songs the white songs that black people rock out to, but is too long of a title. But basically that's what this is. This will be 25 songs that I ranked as far as popular quote unquote white songs that black people love and know. And here's the great thing about music. Music is the unifier, right? Because for some people, there's a such thing as black music. For some, there's a such thing as white music. And I say that in jest, but honestly, music is the unifier because of music, would have a kid like me growing up in the 80s, listening to Twisted Sister. And it might have a kid in Idaho, growing up in the 80s listening to Run DMC or Cool Mo D. So, music is the main unifier of us. A lot of times when it comes to culture and race and things of that nature. But, good music is good music. So even though I did say in jest that I was going to call this podcast the white songs that black people rock out to, pretty much that's what this is. All of these artists that I'm going to name are white artists, mostly white pop artists. Now, I was able to sneak in a couple of surprise blue-eyed soul artists, if you will, into the discussion. But these are all white artists, and each have a story. But I want to just to give you my certified top 25 MTV Pop Jams. And again, these are songs from white artists that black people know and love. So without further ado, let's get it started. And again, I did rank them. And what I did find out was I was able to rattle off about, I don't know, off the dome, like 40 songs, right? So the hardest part for me was, trimming it down from 40 to 25. And then the even harder part was putting them in order, because I'm sure that a lot of black people who are going to listen to this podcast say, "Oh man, I can't believe you didn't put such and such on here," or "I can't believe that you got this song so high or this song too low," so forth and so on. But it's just how I ranked them. If you have any issues or if you think that I ranked them pretty good, hit me up on social media. I'll kick it with you. So without further ado, let's get it started. Coming in at number 25, "Don't You Want Me" by the Human League. This was a jam right here. This was one that I think I remember seeing it for the first time on MTV. And, of course, me being the age that I was probably like 10. So, I couldn't go out and buy the album. But, it was a jam, man. It was a feel good song. And it got a lot of airplay on MTV. And subsequently, it will make my list at number 25. Coming in at number 24. This is an older jam, but still jams pretty hard on MTV and everywhere else. "Get Down Tonight" by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I probably can't tell you I know at one point in time in my life I knew all of the lyrics, but I can't really remember the lyrics. But again, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. You've heard the song on countless commercials and things of that nature. Casey and the Sunshine Band, weren't black. I think they had a couple of black people in the group, but for the most part, KC, to my memory, was a white guy. And this was, I want to say this came out, and I'm going off the top without even looking it up. I want to say this came out in like the late 70s. So I was mad young, right? But another jam that goes on my MTV Pop Jams list. Still counting down to number 23. Roxanne, The Police. Man, listen. If you didn't come up in the 70s or 80s, it's kind of hard for me to describe to you what the Police were. The Police were, they were really, really dope. And of course, they were led by Sting. Not the wrestler, but the musician Sting. Yeah, man. Roxanne was one of those joints that it's one of the few, so I don't want to say few, but it's one of the songs that I do remember hearing on black radio growing up. It was a jam, man. It was a jam. And Sting was singing his heart out on this joint. So yeah, I had to put that on the list coming in at number 23, Roxanne by the Police. Number 22. This one I think I want to say this was late 70s, early 80s. Number 22. Wild Cherries, Play That Funky Music. And in the song, they say, play that funky music, white boy. Now, for me as a young kid, man, it was interesting and also kind of comical to hear a group say, play that funky music, white boy. I mean, the words white boy was just funny. Like, it wasn't something that you heard every day in a song. So, play that funky music, white boy. And the white boy was playing. So, I mean, it was love. I mean, yeah, so I enjoyed that song. And just a sidebar real quick, I wanted to when I thought about doing this podcast, I wanted to ask two of my favorite podcasters, Autumn the Aries and Jay Boog from Jay's Quick 3. I wanted to ask them to come on, but if you've listened to podcasts with me and those two ladies, you know that it is painstaking for them to come up with a list. But yet they were the inspiration behind this podcast. So shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to excuse me, Aubrey. Well, I'm talking about my niece. I'm sorry, Autumn. Autumn the Aries. I don't know how I got my niece's name into my podcast. Shout out to Autumn and Jay Boog. So yeah, I really appreciate them for giving me the inspiration for this. But yeah, I thought about adding them to this podcast, but for them to come up with 25, it would have been gut wrenching, and they probably still be pouring over their lists as we started the podcast. So it's all good. But you will hear them on the 12 Kyle podcast in upcoming shows. All right, so let's get back. Number 21. Africa by Toto. This was another MTV staple for me. I remember seeing the video, and the melody on this joint was really, really smooth. I really enjoyed that part of the song, just the melody and the harmony of it. As I got older and listened to the words, it meant a lot much more to me. But this is still a jam, man. It's still a jam, and it's something that it's a song that I think was kind of ahead of its time at that particular time, because on MTV you didn't have a lot of songs with a lot of harmony. I mean, you either had the Poppy Feely songs, or you had the Michael Jackson songs, or you had the songs, heavy metal or whatever the case may be. But they actually had a lot of melodies on this joint. So very melodic, very dope song. Again, that was Africa by Toto. Number 20, Take on Me by Aha. Another one, man. This video got a lot of rotation, and with it getting a lot of rotation on MTV, it was a song that I just came to like all of a sudden. I mean, this was a dope song. And these dudes are really singing. No auto tunes needed, man. I really enjoyed this song, and thinking back and listening to it again as I got ready for this podcast, still holds its weight, I think. Still a dope song. Now let me throw in a little Blue Eyed Soul. So this is technically cheating because it's not a pop song, but this is a white artist who made some songs that Black people really, really know and love. Number 19, the artist is John B. The song is They Don't Know. Yeah, John B is white, despite looking like Klay Thompson for the Golden State Warriors. I think what was interesting was when this song came out, he sounded a lot like Babyface. And it's one thing to be what they call blue-eyed soul. It's nothing to sound like one of the greatest R&B songwriters of all time, and Kenny Babyface Edmonds. But yeah, this song is still a jam to this day, and I couldn't, in creating a list of songs that black people know from white people, or however you want to phrase it, I couldn't leave this one off. So I had to throw this one on here. Coming in at 19, my man John B with They Don't Know. Number 18, Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Man, listen, this was a smash hit. So if you came up in my era, there's no way that you could have watched MTV and not listen to this song. Ironically, this song now, when I hear it, it only reminds me of one thing. You guessed it. The final scene in The Sopranos. Because if you're a fan like me of the hit TV series The Sopranos, this song was playing at the end. I believe it was playing on the jukebox, but it was playing at the end in the final season, in the final episode. And we don't know what happens to the family. I mean, it's up to people's guess as to what happened, but song Don't Stop Believing was playing, and then the song cut off. So it's like every time I hear this song from, since that point, several years ago, I don't even think about MTV anymore. I think about, The Sopranos. Go figure. But yeah, so I had to put that on my list, coming in at number 18. Number 17, song by The Human League, who had another entry on here. And this one is called I'm Only Human. I love this joint right here. The chorus went, I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made. Human, born to make mistakes. Very simple, but very deep. Love that joint, man. Love it. It still rocks to this day, man. It still rocks to this day. So shout out to the Human League. They got 2 songs on my chart. Of my list of top 25 MTV Pop Jams. So we're still counting down. Now we're at number 16. Number 16 is a song that was very, very popular. I want to say in the late 70s. I was a little boy, and I remember this song, and it still is in my head to this day. It's a song from a movie soundtrack. The song is called Staying Alive. The group, the Bee Gees. Man, listen, there was nothing that you couldn't tell anybody about John Travolta, tongue tied, John Travolta. The new tongue and lips are on the way. Yeah, so this was a jam, man. This was a jam in the late 70s. The movie, what was the name of the movie? Was it Saturday Night Fever? Yeah, Saturday Night Fever made Travolta a superstar. And this song, from what I can remember about the movie, was played throughout. Got a lot of love on MTV when MTV finally hit the airwaves, even though it was it was an older song, but it still got love on MTV. Song got some airplay on Black radio coming up, from what I can remember. So yeah, I had to put that one on my list, coming in at number 16. Number 15, All Around the World by Lisa Stansfield. Been around the world and yeah. A song that was famously borrowed by the late great Notorious B.I.G. At least that particular portion of the song. This is one that got major airplay on Black radio. And I remember thinking that Lisa Stansfield was Black until I saw the video, because we had no, I mean, keep in mind, this is the 80s. So there's no internet, there's no Google, there's no Wikipedia or anything like that. So we had no way of knowing, but it wasn't until I actually saw the video. I was like, oh shit, she's white. So shout out to her. She made the list. This one, the next one I'm going to tell you about, number 14, was another group that I did not know was white. The group is called New Shoes, and the song is called I Can't Wait. Major airplay on Black radio. Got airplay on MTV and white radio as well. But yeah, I did not know. I went a long time without knowing that this group wasn't black. But this song still jams. It's at the time it sounded very futuristic. And it still knocks to this day. So I obviously I had to put it on the list. Number 13. The group is called Queen. The song, Another One Bites the Dust. The beat, crazy. I mean, you got to put this song on the list if for no other reason the beat. I don't know much about Queen, the group, but I do know that this song rocked everywhere, no matter where it was. And I remember, again, I'm not to sound like a broken record, but you know, this song got a lot of airplay on Black radio, which was saying a lot because, you know, at that particular time when this song was out, that was hard to do, you know, because Black radio kind of tended to stick towards Black artists. But yeah, this joint is a jam, and it still jams to this day. Number 12, Maneater by Hall and Oates. Whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. Whoa, here she comes. She's a man-eater. Let me say this off the top, man. Hall and Oates, one of the greatest duos of all time. I mean, like, their music is timeless. I didn't know a lot about Hall and Oates growing up, as far as, like, you know, if they were brothers or if they were just friends, if they was cool with each other, they lived down the street from each other, they were best friends. I didn't know anything about them personally, but man, they made some dope ass music, and there was no way that I could do an MTV Pop Jams list of the 25 greatest white songs that, you know, Black people love, and not have Hall and Oates on the list. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They've got another song on here. But yeah, Hall and Oates, man, they get it. They get it. They made some great music, and still, to be honest, still making great music. But Black people love Hall and Oates. You would be hard pressed to find a Black person that particularly that came up in that era that, one, didn't like Hall and Oates or didn't like their music. I'm just keeping it real with you. Then we move to number 11. The group is called Tears for Fears. The song is called Shout. Shout. Let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Listen, this is an anthem. This is a song that every Black person from this era knows. If they don't know anything else, they know the hook. Shout, shout, let it all out. In fact, I will venture to say that there are probably a lot of white people that don't know this song other than the hook, but it is a jam. So again, this had to make the list. Yeah, shout out to Tears for Fears, man. Dope group. And the song is called Shout. Number 10, I did mention earlier that I had to sneak in a couple of Blue Eyed Soul joints. And this is one that I had to sneak in. There was no way that she was not going to make this list. I'm talking about none other than Miss Tina Marie. The song is called Square Biz. Man, I thought Tina Marie was black, like up until like, I don't know, the late 90s. I didn't know any better. I just thought she was like a real light skinned black woman. Of course, she was down with the late great Rick James. She could sing her ass off, man. I mean, take your pick. I'm putting this song on the list, but Tina Marie had some bangers, a couple other bangers that could easily go on this list. But yeah, she was so cold, so cold. Shout out to the late great Tina Marie. She makes the list at number 10. Number 9, a song that every single person, black, white, Latino, you name it, knows. The name of the group is Queen. The song, We Will Rock You. This song is played at every sporting event, every sporting event in the history of mankind. We will rock you. I mean, what can I say about the song? I don't have to say much. I'll be honest, because everybody knows. If you don't know the song, if you don't know the words, you know the hook. We will rock you. There's no way that you can make a list and this song not be on it. Honestly, if we're talking about the songs that white people have made that black people know and love, you could make a case that this could be number 1. I've got it at 9. Number 8, a duo. This duo is called Wham. The song, Everything She Wants. Listen, first and foremost, rest in peace, George Michael. Man, this song not only got a lot of airplay on black radio, but I specifically remember the radio station in my hometown. They used to do like a top 9 at 9. Hey man, Everything She Wants would be like number 2, like like almost every night. And it hit number 1 a couple of times. Man, listen, this is my jam for real. Everything She Wants, everything she sees is not good enough. Oh my gosh, man, this song. And I can't remember his the other member's name. It's Andrew something. Forgive me, I'm not looking it up. But yeah, man, Everything She Wants was and still is a jam. I mean, you put it on, people gonna move. I don't care what color you are. So that had to make the list. Number 7, another duo who I mentioned a little earlier, and I told you they'd be on here again. Hall and Oates. I can't go for that. Man, listen. The beat alone, the beat alone will get you to move. But again, I could make a case. There's probably about 4 or 5 Hall and Oates songs that I could have put on here, to be honest. But this one ranks high for me. This is one of my joints, man. I can't go for that. No Can Do by Hall and Oates still bangs to this day. Hall and Oates doesn't disappoint, man. I'm just be honest. Yeah, so I'm rolling with Hall and Oates at number 7. Number 6, the group is called Eurythmics. The song, Sweet Dreams. Sweet dreams are made of this. Listen, shout out to what's her name? Annie Lennox. Man, listen. Oh my God. This song was a banger. Another one that got major airplay on black radio. And one of the hottest songs when it came out on MTV, no question asked. And I mean, like, just the synthesizers and Annie singing. I mean, this joint still flows, it still rocks. You can put it on and people are going to bop to it. There's a lot of I could go on and on about this song. This is one of my favorite songs on this list. But yeah, there's no way that you make a list without putting them on it. So Eurythmics comes in at number 6. Number 5, another group that also is a repeater on this list, The Police, with Every Breath You Take. Man, listen. Every breath you take, every step you make. Oh my God. And so there's a generation of people who remember this song or know this song because of its affiliation with Puff Daddy. Y'all call him P. Diddy, I call him Puff. You know, Puff used the song, whatever sample, in his tribute to Biggie. And so I get it. I understand why people, the younger generation love it. But if you go back and listen to this original, Sting kills it, man. I mean, he literally kills it. This is a banger. And I don't care how much time has passed. When you put this on, you're going to move. It just does that to you. So I had to put that on the list. Let me sidebar real quick. As I mentioned earlier, the hardest part for me was really once I got my 25, just trying to figure out where to play some of these songs. Because honestly, there's some songs that, you could make a case should be higher. There's some songs you can make a case that should be lower. But for me, as I was putting this list together, it was the closer and closer that I got to 1, the harder and harder it got. So where we at? We're at okay, we just gave you 5. So let's go to 4. Number 4. A guy that I mentioned a little earlier. The song is called Careless Whisper. The artist, the late George Michael. Black women, or let me go back. Some of the black women that I know love the hell out of George Michael. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. Bruh. This again, you can make a case that it could be number 1, I think. George Michael could sing his face off. From what I understand, the ladies found him attractive. And just seemed like an overall good dude from what I can remember. And what's weird is I know he passed away, but I can't even remember like when he passed away or what happened to him. I think he was sick or something like that. But yeah, tough loss, man. But this dude, he left some great music behind. And this song right here had to make this list. All right, so we're closing in. Number 3. Yes. What You Won't Do for Love by Bobby Caldwell. Now, I'm going to admit to something. I've heard this song for the better part of my life. And probably up until about 4 or 5 years ago, let's say 4 years ago, I had no idea that Bobby Caldwell wasn't black. And you have to keep in mind, because I never saw a video for this song. Like, there's a video, I think, of him performing this on Soul Train, but I must have missed that Saturday. Maybe I was outside or something. I don't know. But yeah, Bobby Caldwell's What You Won't Do for Love. If you listen to Bobby Caldwell, period, just by listening to him, he doesn't sound or have the sound or make music that would sound like, an artist that was not black. And I'm not going to say he quote unquote makes black music, because again, it's semantics. I don't necessarily know at that particular time there was such thing as black music, but you get my point. This guy and this song, what you won't do for love. Come on, man. This is still a banger to this day. And if you're not familiar with Bobby Caldwell, get familiar with his catalog. Very impressive. Very impressive. All right, so we're coming in, bringing it home. Number 2, Mr. Michael McDonald, and the song is called I Keep Forgetting Every Time You're Near. This song obviously was famously sampled by Warren G for the song Regulators with Nate Dogg. But I keep forgetting, man, when I talk about Blue Eyed Soul, there's no way that I could do a list without putting Michael McDonald on this list. Now, again, the podcast is MTV Pop Jams. Is this a pop song? No, it's not a pop song, but it's an artist, a white artist that, made the song. And this, when I tell you, this song dominated black radio. It didn't just get airplay. It dominated black radio. And he was another guy that, I went a few years not knowing that he wasn't black. Because I mean, think about it. If you're a kid growing up in the 80s, if you don't see it on TV, you're only left to assume what you hear. And when I heard him on the radio, he didn't sound any different than anybody else I'd heard on the radio. So, and I listened to black radio. So yeah, so there you go. But yeah, that's my number 2. My number 1 features the greatest drum, or in many of our cases, air drum solo of all time. I'm talking about none other than the song In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. You could probably make a case for this being higher, or not higher, you can make a case for it being lower. But for some, they'll have it at 1, and I got it at 1. I mean, In the Air Tonight, early 80s, man, Phil Collins was the shit. And a lot of his music ended up on black radio. And subsequently, there are millions of black people who love Phil Collins. I mean, love Phil Collins. But yeah, man, this is my joint, man. I mean, again, the drum solo, that's all you need to know. I mean, with that drum solo, that just, when the beat comes in, it's crazy. It is crazy. It is a song that I still rock to this day. Phil Collins, again, crazy discography. Very, very impressive. And, overall, I had fun making this list. Like I said, it would have been great to have Autumn and J Boog on here, but I didn't want to do that to him because it was hard enough for me to come up with the ranking for myself. But yeah, this was fun. This was fun. And I also wanted to give you guys another side to kind of let you see that old 12 Kyle, I didn't always listen to hip hop. I mean, rap for me was introduced to me in like 84, 85. So while I heard, songs like The Message and, Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight, things changed for me musically in my house when we got cable TV and we got MTV. Things changed musically because you also have to keep in mind that, unfortunately, at that particular time, MTV, the only black artists that they showed on TV were like Michael Jackson and then Whitney Houston. That was it. They didn't, and maybe a little Lionel Richie. That was about it. Black artists weren't getting a lot of love on MTV. So, Rick James, I remember Rick James publicly criticizing MTV for not playing his music. Rick Super Freak couldn't get played on MTV, so that's just what it was. And he called him out for it. But, we came up in an era where we just appreciated music, and some of the music was made by white artists and some of the music was made by black artists, and we just appreciated and loved it and everything else. Like I said, I was going to call the podcast, the songs that black people love from white artists, but MTV Pop Jams just sounded more cooler and much shorter. But I just wanted to kind of, come to you guys and give you a list of what I thought, this list would look like. And I don't know, this was fun. It was fun to put it together. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on social media. Hit me up in the comment section and tell me what I got wrong and tell me what you think I got right. But either way, I'm glad you listened. And again, this was fun to do. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something like this again down the road. That's going to do it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. From time to time this year, we will be dropping bonus episodes on Sundays. Remember, every episode drops every Thursday at midnight. We also have a YouTube channel where you can see the podcast on the YouTube channel. And we'll have our guests on and you'll be able to see them as well. So be sure to subscribe. Go to youtube.com/12. Spell it out. TWELVEKYLE. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm your boy 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5Gs.
If you work in university maintenance, Granger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Granger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done. If you work in university maintenance, Granger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Granger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.